Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, everyone. I hope you are in good conditions. Today we will present our discussion about how we manage a classroom for teaching English for young learners. We are from grade 11, consists of two persons only. The first one is me, myself. My name is Hertatama, and the other team is Galuh Pramesti. So basically, there are two main topics that will be presented during this presentation. The first one is identifying appropriate classroom management for suitable children's characteristics. As for the others, is identifying the aspect of classroom management appropriate for young learners. According to Scott and Jutterberg, children are divided into two main types that based on the ages. The first one is the beginner stage, which is range of 5 to 7 years old, and the others type is the level 2 pupils that range to from 8 to 10 years old. So for both of them have their own characteristics. So I will explain about the characteristic from the beginner stage, the 5 to 7 years old. The first one is that they can talk about what they are doing. For example, when they read the book that they don't know, or they read some books that they don't understand, they um discuss with their parents, or they tell what they are doing. They can also tell about what they have done or heard. They could also plan activities. They could also argue for something and tell you why they think that they think. The beginner stage could also use their logical reasoning. They could also use their vivid imagination to share their ideas. They can use a wide range of intonation patterns in their mother tongue. Um, they also can understand direct human interactions, like when they're directing to their parents. As for the level 2, um, they know their basic concepts, and their basic concepts are performed. They have very decided views of the world. The level 2 students, all children, can tell the difference between fact and fiction. They could ask questions all the time, that they are very curious. For example, that children who curious about their um, language development to their parents. They could also rely on the spoken words as well as the physical word to convey and understand the meaning. They could also able to make some decisions about their own learning. Furthermore, they have definite views about what they like and that don't like doing. They would have a developed sense of fairness about what happens in the classroom and begin to question the teacher's decisions. For example, that they feel when they feel unsure about the teacher's explanation, they often ask the teacher what have been explained. Also, they are able to work with others and learn from the others, or as we can say, they can work cooperatively. Another characteristics from young learners from the beginner stage, they know that the world is governed by rules. They understand situations more quickly than they understand the language used. Others that they can use language skills long before they are aware of them. Uh, Also, their own understanding comes through what they have, through what they are touched, saw, and heard. They are also very logical, or what you saw first happened first. Um, the young children sometimes have difficulty in knowing what is fact and what is fiction. It is contrast as the level 2 students. As for the level 2, the young children are often happy playing and working alone, but still in the company and of others. The adult word and the child's words are not the same, and they know the difference. They will seldom admit that they don't know something either. The young children cannot decide for themselves what to learn and what to understand. The young children love to play and learn best when they are enjoying themselves. For example, like when they like learning when they play, they can do that for a long time. And the last characteristic from the level 2 is that young children are enthusiastic and positive about learning, so that they have a big curiosity about learning and about something that they don't know. During their language development, Scott and Eutebert also mentioned that the 8 to 10 years old children is better in development of language learning with all basic elements in place. They were also competent users of their mother tongue, and in this connection, they are aware of the main rules of syntax in their own languages. So, by the age of the 10, children can understand some abstract, they could also understand symbols, and they can generalize and systemize the word correctly. Okay, so the other topics. After knowing about children's characteristics, we need to know about how we, being a teachers, teach the material to the young learners. So, being the teacher is not about how we teach the material to the children, but also about how we teacher become their ideal teachers to them. So, there are some aspects that teacher must pay attention in managing classroom for young learners. The first one is when we teach them, it is not about the words, which is enough or not. um, it is also about how we deliver it with suitable methods, or how we deliver the material as well. Then we can also play the language itself, like we can combine the methods, or we can combine our language to them, which is suitable for them. It's not like we use the formal language for the young learners, but also we could use the simple language to them. Um, they would also We can also teach language as the language. It's not about we learn the structures, but how we deliver to them is simple as the language we deliver. Another is routines, to maintain the routines, like we're giving them tests or assessment, or some exams, some sort of that. Um, we can also maintain cooperation instead of competition, so that teachers, sorry, so that students or learners is not always aim for their competition, but also works in cooperation, such as work in pairs or group, and so others. And the teacher also should pay attention about what grammar should they teach to the children. The last aspect is about how we teachers should assess the students during the classroom. About the ideal teachers, let's see the example from some children that share their opinion about um, what is being what is the definition is of an ideal teachers. So the first from Susan, she said that my ideal school teacher is Mr. Jolly because I like his music. Other children said that my ideal teacher is funny and makes you work hard and lets me draw things from my imaginations. The other children, Terry, said that a patient teacher who doesn't mind children getting things wrong sometimes. A teacher also who enjoys fun and games. The last student is Annette, says that she's her sorry her teacher is a strict teacher who is strict to the naughty children and nice to the good ones, and has always good talk and handy. So the conclusion from this example is that teachers can provide with many methods for their learnings. That teachers not always about how they teach, but also how they can become their friends to their learners. So, what is an ideal teacher? An ideal teacher is a teacher of a young children. It that helps a lot of um, giving them opportunities during the learning process. Um, and a teacher of young children, it helps a lot of you have a sense of humor. You are open-minded, being adaptable, being patient, and so others. But even if you are in the silence, reserve type, and you can work on your attitudes and abilities. So there are there are two main um, aspects of being ideal teachers. So the first one is abilities. We can all learn to mime, to act, and draw very simple drawings, and we can all learn to organize our worksheets so that they are planned and pleasing to look at. So by doing this, hopefully, the children will likely to learn willingly without force by providing some interesting things such as draw, or we can provide it learning with music or something else like that. The other is that attitude that sometimes you respect your teachers, students, and be realistic about what they can manage at an individual level. Then your expectation will be realistic too. As a teacher, also, you could have to appear to like all your students equally, although at times this will certainly include the ability to the children should not be aware of it. The children also learning the children learning a foreign language or any other subject need to know that the teacher likes them. Young children have a very keen sense of fairness. So I think that's all from me. So I will divert it to my friends as well, Galuh, and the time is yours. Thank you.
The next material is about aspects for managing the classroom for a young learner. Number one is help students to feel secure. If children feel secure and content in the classroom, they can be encouraged to become independent and adventurous in the learning of language. Insecurity is not about attitude or abilities, but also about what students need to succeed language learning process. There are 7 points that will helpful for creating secure atmosphere. Number one is know what teachers doing because students requires to know what is happening and teachers is in charge. Number two is respect the students. It means teacher and students can be friends and talk to each other like a friends. Number three is accept all students' opinion and mistakes. Then do not use constant or direct correction because it can break the atmosphere of the classroom. Number four is establish routines by greeting students or start a little talk before start the class because it can build up familiarity and security for them. And then number five is give students responsibility work for doing practical jobs in the classroom such as clean the whiteboard, uh, change the water of the face, clean the windows, and many more. Number six is avoid organized competition and avoid to give prizes or rewards. And the last is don't use English name for children because everybody are same and no matter what kind of language that each person use. Number two is physical surroundings. Encourage the children to bring the object or pictures or postcards and then tell the rest of the class a little bit about them in English. It doesn't have to be more than this postcard is from my this this postcard is from Portugal. My own is in Portugal. So physical objects are very important for young children, even children of 10 years old. Your classroom is probably used for other subjects or other classes as well, but try to have an English corner. You need a shelves, a notice board, and either a pile of cushions or a couple of comfortable chairs. But not prefer to use traditional school chairs. If you really can manage even a corner of the classroom, a section of wall that you can pin things is better than nothing. Number three is arranging the desk. Teachers must arranging students' desks to make a learning process being more effective. It is better to arrange the desk arrangement before a learning process start, because if arrange the desk during learning will causes noises and spend more time. There are three types of desk arrangement in the classroom. The first arrangement is arrangement A. This arrangement appropriate for working in groups and give benefit for teachers to teach easily and efficient. Number two is arrangement B. This arrangement is suitable for students to work individually and only can work with students' neighbor desks. It is not as effective as arrangement A for language learning because not encourage students' communication. And then the last arrangement is arrangement C. This arrangement seems like arrangement B, but it gives more space in the middle, so that makes a learning process become flexible. So here is the figure of desk arrangement of each desk arrangement. Alright, number four is grouping the children. In the age 5 or 6 years old, students are common work alone. We as the teacher need to build cooperative work between each student to see that the student is ready or not for cooperative with each other. So there are two types of grouping the children. The first is paired work. Pair work is a simple way to organize or grouping the students by their needs. At least consists of two students in each group. And the second is group work. Group work is the way of teachers to organize or grouping students into some groups, which at least consists of 3 or 4 students, and students are not allowed to choose their own members group. And the last is classroom language. A very important way for helping students progress from dependence the book on and on the teachers to independence is to give them the necessary tools. One of them is classroom language. This tool requires the students to use some phrases, maybe like simple phrases, to express what they want to say. And then classroom language claims can help students development students language, student ability and communicate in the classroom or elsewhere. So there is a example of classroom phrases. So it is consists of a simple conversation between students and students, or maybe students and teacher in the classroom, or maybe or in somewhere. I think these are about my material. Thank you.